I love the premise, and I know it's an obvious question, but I kind of a really important one for this one. Just where did the inspiration come for the story?
Well, I was watching Vertigo because it had just been. I loved Hitchcock movies, but then there was one that I hadn't seen because it was kind of out of print. In early 2000s, they rediscovered and restored Vertigo, and they put out a Blu-ray, I mean a DVD back then of it. And I was watching it. I just, gosh, here's another one of his movies that have a great twist. A big star as a leading man, like Cary Grant in some of his movies, and this one Jimmy Stewart, and a one word title that was very grabs you: Vertigo, Psycho, Spellbound, Frenzy. And so I find that we have answers inside of us. We just need to ask the right questions. So I try to ask myself good questions like, okay, I want to make a Hitchcock type movie. If he kept making movies beyond those films, what other one word title would he might have used? And then right away it came to my head, Hypnotic. And I thought, wow, that sounds big and cool. But what does it mean? So I asked, what does it mean? And I thought, oh, it's someone who can't be caught. Like if I met you and we were talking and I ask you for the keys to your car and your bank information, and I'm going to take your car for a spin. I'm probably going to keep it. You're like, okay. And then I leave, and then you don't even remember meeting me. That would be a great villain. Somebody that's just can do anything. It's not hypnosis. It's something beyond that. He's bending reality in some way. And then you don't know how far their abilities go till you get to the end of the film. I thought that could be really cool. So I wrote about 30 pages of scenes, including the bank heist, the scissor scene, some of the twist. And then I got busy with my other films, my sequels and stuff I was making. And I knew I would come back to it someday, but I just wasn't sure when. And then it wasn't really till like 15 years later, maybe, that I started working on it again. And I came up with the next final twist. I realized I wanted to be more family oriented. So I added a family element to it that really helped me solve it. And then I got busy with Alita and other projects, but I always wanted to come back to it because what I really loved about the idea was that it reminded me of what we do as storytellers and what we do as filmmakers. It felt very meta to make a movie like this, where the filmmaker has to create a hypnotic construct for an audience that knows this is happening to them because they bought a ticket. And it's got to be strong enough that they believe the characters, that they know are actors and they know his dialogue, enough to cry or laugh or recommend the movie to their friends because they want escapism. They want this to happen to them, and the filmmaker has to do a good job, otherwise they don't believe it. So I liked that in the movie as well, to where the audience knows they're seeing a movie, but they're fooled twice: once by what's going on, and then once again by the fact that everyone, even the actor, is being, hypnotized. So I thought that would be a really fun trick to pull off, and fits in with my other movies where I try to come up with. Because I usually work in smaller to medium range budgets. I don't really do really big budget movies because I have more creative freedom if I can do it for less. So if you have a small budget or a medium budget, don't come up with a small idea for it or a medium idea for it. Come up with a big idea. The bigger the idea, the bigger the film feels, no matter how much money you have. And as we lost money because of COVID, to where we had to strip things down to just like golf carts and stuff, it just makes the hypnotics feel that much more stronger. So it actually benefits the movie sometimes to have less because the idea is still big, and the budgets can get small, but the idea is still big.
And Ben Affleck, like how enjoyable is he to work with?
When we had to shoot the movie really fast, he's also from the 90s, like me, that renegade style of shooting fast. He knew how to do that, and we had a blast working together. And I knew he had the star quality and he could play the driven detective, but I needed somebody also who truly is a father and has the warmth of a father. And we're always talking about our kids. So I knew he'd be able to channel that really easily, where you could picture him as just it's a picture of love and devotion towards his daughter.
And just finally, I love that you work with your children. Just that must be so inspirational. Tell me about the brilliant music created by your son on this one.
Gosh, they've been working with me since they could crawl. But as a developmental tool, I gave them more piano lessons since he was 4. All my kids, just to connect the left and right side brain. I didn't realize it would make him so good at piano and theory and music that he would take my job as a composer. I never could have written this score. I don't know how to write a thriller music. He figured it out. He wrote such a propulsive score. I said I wanted like a Hitchcock type score, but he realized that wouldn't quite work. It needed more propulsion. I wouldn't have thought of that. And it just drives the picture so much. And that he did it all on his keyboard. We couldn't afford to do it with an orchestra. So he had all that, his orchestral sounds were just, he figured out how to manipulate his sounds to make it sound like an orchestra. So on his little laptop, I mean, it blows my mind what kids can do today, you know.
Amazing. Robert, thank you. A pleasure to talk to you. That was brilliant.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey you guys!
Hey, you guys!